We kind of had an emergency. We had an 18-track emergency. So in our time of need, we turned once again to our heroes. And we have, again, the vinyl in pretty, like, super okay condition. This is the original vinyl from 1977. So stay tuned to the end for that. And if I understand, this is one of your favorites.
It is. It is my third favorite.
You texted me a while ago and you're like, what do you think about Farewell to Kings? And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Then you brought to my attention that this included Xanadu and Cygnus X1, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a top 5 Rush album. Do you know the meaning behind the cover?
I actually don't.
Look that up right now, so we don't look like asses on the camera.
So the cover art was designed by Hugh Smine.
Did you say Hugh Smime?
What
the fuck? Hugh Smime.
Shit. It's a Boston demolition site along with the Harbor Castle Hotel in Toronto. It's a human figure that resembles a grotesque puppet, which is the guy in the chair right there.
That is pretty fucking grotesque. This is how Kanye dresses.
They predicted Kanye?
Yes, they did. Rush predicted Kanye. There we go. Without further ado, we'll get into track 1, the self-titled.
I think as an opener, fantastic. For the intro, it's just like peaceful, calm, interesting composition for it. And then it goes silent and then just like kicks you in the teeth and just starts up. This is coming off of 2112.
Pretty nice follow-up.
I think it's a fantastic follow-up. You hear Geddy kicking with the lyrics, which are very well written by Neil. It's basically about which resembles the cover. The hypocrisy in life, and you have to find yourself through a world of, like, you know, lies and deception and issues. As you grow up, you see people and you're like, oh, they have integrity, they're good, and then you actually find out that they're not like that, and you kind of have to think to yourself, like, well, who do I follow? Who do I look into? And I think that song kind of captures that idea.
It also captures the title of the song too, which may or may not be the reason for the album titling too, because it feels like, in the first half at least, before they jump scare you, it feels like you're in Shakespeare's royal court, or like in that Shakespearean time, you're with the king or whatever. It really feels like the song is called Farewell to Kings, which is cool because a lot of songs these days are called like horse shit or whatever, and they're about like big dreams or something, and they just title it whatever the fuck they want. They don't even say it in the song. That's the trend these days, but this actually gives you the whole feel of it.
For my rating, it would be an 8.
I think the boiler's going to kick on, so we might have to just take a little rest here.
Little
I heard some
intermission.
flickering. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. I definitely understand why it's up there for you, and it's definitely a terrific opening track, so I gave it a 7.
Words can't begin to describe Xanadu. He wrote it about the poem of land that Kublai Khan would live in, even though Kublai Khan was like fucking dictator who killed people. As a story song, like, he captured it perfectly. It was as if he just imprinted what he read onto sheets of music and played it. The beginning is just fantastic. The birds chirping, Alex on the guitar, he's hitting like the bells.
It creates a huge vibe and atmosphere that I think you do get with a lot of Rush songs, but not as much as you get here. And then it takes you right into the euphoric guitar lead, which everyone tries to play when they pick up a guitar.
Exactly at the 5-minute mark, Geddy comes in, like, they timed it perfectly, and you feel like the whole song's over. And then, bam, it just keeps going. You find yourself singing the chorus even though you don't even know what the hell they're talking about. The outro, and, like, it's just, like, this grand finale of explosions. And it's only the second song.
If you were just to stop it, I'm going to go find out what's happening. But in the meantime, we'll, like, speed run the next several songs.
Damn it.
6.5 hours later.
Close to the heart.
If the guitar part were the only part of the song, and this was like a 30-second song, it would have been already an 8. Neil's songwriting and the rest of the song, how it doesn't lose any luster throughout the entire thing, makes this one a solid 9 for me.
Just the sheer musicianship, storytelling, I give it a 10.
Hell yeah. Alright, give it a shot. I'm a very skilled guitar player. I don't even know if this is in tune. Let's see. No, it's this, right? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. That's good enough. All right.
Alex couldn't have played it better himself.
This is probably one of the greatest acoustic intros ever. I was watching Rick, who's the old dude? that does music.
Oh, Beato or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was watching that. He put it at like, I don't know, it wasn't number one, which I had an issue with.
Yeah, that's a problem.
But this is a number one for me. I'm kind of upset that it's the only song written by an outside songwriter, and it's one of their more popular songs. The vocal melody too, one of Getty's best. Blacksmith and the artist. There's my Getty impression that you wanted.
Yes,
there you
finally got it.
Yeah, the vibe that it creates is special, to say the least. So this one is another 9 for me. I upped my rate. I know I told you I was going to give it an 8.5, but it is one of their best songs.
It is. The acoustic is just fantastic. A great continuation of Alex's work that just makes you just feel like you're in the studio with him, like watching him play it live. The second half of the song where the bass kicks in as he starts singing, this is the next verse. Just kick ass, and then like it goes into that awesome guitar lead at the end, and I love the meaning too, because it's very true. People need to just be more in tune with themselves and others sometimes for things to be better. I'd have to agree with you on 9. So Cinderella Man, which is a story about being in a new town in a new area, kind of like the same concept of A Farewell to the Kings, trying to have integrity and live your life in an area where people don't do that. I'm not a huge fan of the melodies. Kind of, it's not
sonically
bad.
It's not your favorite. I'd have to say it's sonically it's not my favorite too. But you telling me about that the meaning of it being a new guy in a new town, I can relate to that, because when I moved to Florida, I kind of felt that way too. Now I'm stranded here. But you telling me that did make me appreciate it a little bit more.
And it's just another continuation of the morals in life, which is cool. I do like where it kicks into him like singing Cinderella Man. It's like mellow and kind of cool. And I love the break at the end where like it's quiet and then just kicks into the instrumental, and then the guitar solo kicks in. It's not my favorite, but it's not my least favorite. But it's still a great continuation of the album. So I gave it an 8.
Sonically, like I said, not my favorite, but the meaning is definitely special. I can relate to it especially, and I think a lot of people can relate to it. So I was going to go a little bit harder on this one, but that meaning definitely put it over the top, so I give this one a 7.
So with the continuation of how Rush does their albums, the second to last song is usually the mellow, kind of different song that you didn't really expect.
Yeah.
Losing It, different strings, Witch Hunt, it's just like that different stuff, and you're like, I really do love the lyrics and the meaning, talking about going through life and going into battles and you're weary of it because you can't defeat it with, he says, pen or sword. So I give it 7.
As I mentioned in our other Rush reviews, which you should go watch, I have a huge soft spot for those softer songs. I really appreciate those. I think I gave Tears a 9. And
yes.
I love Losing It. I love, like you mentioned, all those other ones too. This one, when I was listening to it for the first time, I was kind of waiting for it to start, and then it ended. I definitely appreciate what it does for the album, though. It does add a lot. It makes it more of a complete album, so you're not just getting one thing the entire time. For me personally, once again, not one that I go back and visit too much, but still a great addition to the album, so I give it a 6.5.
Cygnus X1, I think, probably has the best intro.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know what Getty was thinking when he made that bass intro, which then follows by Neil, which then follows by Alex. Damn, it's awesome. The way Cygnus X1 is, which is another continuation of a story. This one is about a man in space in a spaceship who gets sucked into a black hole, which is what Cygnus is. And then he gets transported into Hemispheres book 2. And I think as a continuation of the musicianship, because you got Xanadu and this on the same album, is just an orgasmic fest of like musicianship. Maybe like the third.
Oh, sorry, I had a huge ADD kick in when you started talking about the intro. I was like tapping it.
Excellent way to end the album, I think. I give the song a 9.
You kind of stole the words out of my mouth, so I'll keep it short. The intro is one of the greatest intros period of all time, let alone bass intro. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Rick
Beato, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if he did a all-time bass intros list, but if this is not number 1, I need to find out where this guy lives and kill him. Spectacular ending to a song, which, as I mentioned, you don't hear a lot from really any artist, because most people are tuned out. They kind of just like, they check out by this point of the album. Yeah. Here they come with one of their best songs, I think, in Rush history. So I'll also give it a 9 along with you.
Hell yeah.
As an overall album, I was kind of blown away when you sent me that. That it kind of made me realize, like, wow, this is super slept on. This is not only one of their best works, but I think it's definitely in the top 5.
This album is just a masterpiece to me. Man, I just love it start to finish. I really don't skip any songs, and I think it's one of their best works. I give the whole album a 9.
Let's finish off with a blast from the past. A picture of Kanye on the front, with bleached skin. On the back, we have puppet strings. That's cool. Does it go over the what would have been cool? What would have been cool is if they had the whole thing go like back around this way.
That would be
right.
Cool.
Pretty minimalistic, which I actually appreciate. It's not too crazy. What would have been cool is to maybe see a pano shot, maybe going around the other side. I'm now their art director. No, I'm telling Hugh Syme how to do his job. Let's open it up inside. I've never seen this picture before.
I haven't either. It's nice.
Not even on the subreddit. And then finally the
subreddit,
vinyl itself, which has its own packaging. That's new. We've never seen that before.
Got the Starman on the back.
Got the sleeve. Oh yeah. Which Hugh Syme also did, by the way.
Nice.
And the guys, I've seen this before.
Yeah, I have too.
Vinyl itself, it's got the same thing as 2112. I guess this is Mercury Records or something. We still didn't get that question answered from the 2112 review.
Yeah, we did.
I'm assuming this is Mercury Records headquarters or whatever, wherever that was. They're defunct now, or I guess they got bought out.
Oh, really?
So yeah, cool little piece of history here.
Yeah.
Pretty fire.
Pretty nice. Leave a like if you like the vintage inside look.